Hello, welcome to Blue Rose, Ep.4. We're starting off where we left off, day 5. The next morning, my mind in haze from the chaotic mess of dreams. The next morning, my mind in haze from the chaotic dreams I have had all through the night. I sigh and shield my eyes against the morning light with my arm. When did I start sleeping this badly? I get up and dress myself. My wounds are looking better, and I move more easily now. Maybe Maurice, he really is that amazing. Just as I reach out for the handle door in the kitchen, I remember my fight with Tobias yesterday and hesitate. Do you really want to talk to him now? Why am I suddenly so worried about facing that man in the first place? It's not like his opinion matters in what I do, does it? Still. I stand there for a couple of seconds before taking a deep breath, collecting myself, then open the door. Good morning, Tobias.
Yeah, good morning.
Tobias is unsocial as usual. When I enter the kitchen, he sits at the table, not looking at my greeting. It looks like I'm early today. He hasn't even finished his own breakfast. This obviously doesn't suit him. I sit down on the chair opposite of him, getting ready to eat. My heart is pounding a little faster than usual at the tension in the air, but I try to act like nothing has happened. Don't mind me, just continue what you're doing. He obviously intends to do that. Oh well, if he keeps quiet, then at least I don't have to get another fight with him. I resign myself to spend another morning in silence when a knock on the door interrupts the peace.
What?
Tobias looks surprised as I do. I guess he's not used to having people visiting, at least at this hour. But neither of us gets the time to get out of our chairs before the door opens on our own. Sorry for interrupting. Calvin enters with a grin on his face, while Tobias looks like someone just emptying a bucket of cold water on him. Oh, you're not done eating yet. Great timing.
What do you want?
What's with the greeting? I came to keep you company, of course.
Company?
Yeah, I felt sorry for the lady having to spend such a great morning in depression company, so I thought I'd stop out and liven things up a bit.
That's not really necessary.
Uh-oh, it looks like Tobias is reaching his limit. Now, I'm sure he means well. Of course I do. Galvin enters the kitchen completely disregarding Tobias' obvious discontent. Then he places a large basket on the table. Look, I brought something good for Erin. From Erin. She was worried that Tobias wasn't feeding his guests well, so she told me to bring this.
So even Aaron is in on this.
Galvin brings out the food on the basket. I must say, Erin's cooking does seem more inviting than Tobias' bread and cheese, even if it does seem a little extravagant for just breakfast. There is enough for 3 people here. Of course! I thought I told you I was going to keep you guys company.
No, please leave now.
But we haven't even eaten yet. Oh, I see. You want to keep the lady all to yourself, don't you?
What?
Tobias' blood is boiling. He clenches his fist at the last desperate attempt to keep his anger in check.
No, just get out already.
I refuse. This isn't good. this isn't even Galvin's house. Should he really be acting like this here?
Fine.
Tobias slams the hands on his table and rises from his chair.
Then I'm leaving.
He picks up his bow and quiver from the corner, preparing to escape out into the forest. Obviously, stop him. He hasn't touched his food yet, not even the meal from before. Galvin intruded. Besides, I feel sorry for him being chased out of his own home like this, even if he is rude, and after he spent last night eating outside as well. No, Tobias, stay here! Tobias glares sullenly back at me as if surprised that I would even say anything.
Why? You two should be fine on your own.
I want you to stay. After all, I can't leave my host be chased out like this. Tobias hesitated for a moment, then he glared at Galvin.
Don't look at me. You should at least stay for the lady asks you to.
Erin even went to the trouble of cooking for you. At least appreciate her effort.
Fine.
Annoyed, he bumps his equipment and returns to the table. It's almost comical how he stubbornly refused to look at Galvin as he sits down to eat his breakfast. Comical and little charming. Galvin pays no mind as he cheerfully digs into Erin's cooking. His attitude clearly shows that he sees this as another victory. Well, this has turned out to be an interesting morning.
This is a place I must say. Yes. Return. Should I follow Tobias or enter the mountains? I'll do all the question marks later. Forest. You?
What kind of greeting is that?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to see anyone up here.
Are you always like here in the forest during the day?
Mostly, I patrol the mountains too.
There's this unusual, dismissive, cold tone in his voice. He obviously doesn't want to talk to me today either. I have a reason to be here though, so I try to ignore and carry on. Do you always patrol alone?
Mostly.
Let me join you.
What?
He looks at me as if I said something outrageous. I want to do something. Staying all day isn't my style, and I'm doing much better now. I won't be a hindrance. Tobias glares at me, at my sword at my side, as if noticing it now. I can see how he struggles to come up with the effective way to tell me off. Considering our usual relationship, it may also seem quite a bit strange for me to approach him like this, but somehow I also feel that the need to redeem myself in his eyes, to prove that I am more than what he believes me or the Templars to be. I meet his gaze with determination.
Fine.
He gives out a sigh of defeat.
But you have to look out for yourself. I'm not gonna take special precautions just because you tagged along.
Don't worry, that won't be necessary. Without replying, Tobias just lifts his bow and sets off to the forest, with me following closely behind. Well, in a way, this went a lot easier than I thought it would. The forest is silent. Even Tobias doesn't intend to make things easier for my sake. He steps through the foliage in slowly, easy strides that I could follow in spite of my injuries. He looks around while walking, completely ignoring my existence, while listening to the woods around us. Sometimes he would motion for us to stop and search the area. Maybe a deer passed by with its kid, or there are tracks from a larger roaming creature. Long before we ended up by the slope leading down to town. Here he talks for first time since letting me come along.
And this is it for now.
You're done?
Yeah, things are fine. There's no need of further patrol here today. It's unusual to run into feral animals that I've chased away, but that's a good thing.
I see. So this is part of your job here?
Yes, you should head down there. This is enough.
Alright. Silence. Tobias looking down at Siri, not at me. He really isn't good at communicating, is he? Thank you for letting me come along. I wouldn't mind helping you patrol again.
Do as you wish.
With that, he turns around and leaves me without any other glance. Well, what did I expect, really? He is soon gone from sight, and I decide to do as he suggested and head to town.
There's only one option, the lake.
I once again leave the village behind from wreck of birds towards the clearing of the lake. Somehow I am at peace in this place. I really can't describe it. It is the perfect place to unwind and do my meditation. But I have only just reached the tree line where I hear the unfitting sound coming from the quiet forest ahead of me. A loud, sharp, and a loud and sharp, a terribly familiar sound that I haven't heard in quite a while. The sound of swords clashing. A fight! Who would be fighting here? My heart beats faster as I immediately enter a state of alertness. My hand reaches towards the handle of the sword as I dash in the direction of the sound. Soon, I reach the clearing and my eyes widen as I see the figure appearing before my eyes. I almost feel my heart come to an abrupt halt for a second that seems to take forever to pass. A man dashes out to the bushes and trees, spinning around, sword ready in hand. He eyes the trees from which he had just emerged. He has long, bristled hair, bluish hair, and wears a familiar white and blue uniform. The sight makes me stop in my tracks. Simon! The man turns his head in surprise and looks at me. For a second, our eyes meet. Then someone else comes out of nowhere. Look out! He shoots forward, but I can't reach him in time. Fortunately, Simon sees him too and raises his sword in defense. Because of the distraction, he only barely manages to ward off the blow and is pushed back. My surprise is only magnified as I realize who he is fighting against. Galvin? Galvin doesn't waste movements and continues forward in order to exploit the opponent's weakness. The stern look of hostility and determination on his face is new to me.
Lena, get away from here.
Simon calls out a warning me and he tries to ready himself for the next attack. But something happens. Maybe the moment he mentions my name, Galvin hesitates for a second. He realizes that I'm standing there, not far away, watching. I gather my energies inside of me, concentrating them in my hand as I grab a small knife from my inside of my coat. Stop! I swing my arm in wide horizontal arc as I shout, sending the knife flying. A faint blue light glows and the edge shoots towards the great speed. Only just missed the tip of Galvin's nose before digging deep into the trunk of the tree on the other side. Galvin leaps back to avoid the attack, once again creating some distance between the two.
Lena!
Both of you, stop this right now! He hesitates. Simon gains his posture and stands ready with the sword. Eyes directed only at Galvin. What are you doing, Galvin? I walk towards the two men.
I see.
The dark look on his face. Galvin unsheathes his sword. He doesn't look at me.
Lena, you know this man?
Ignoring his question, I simply approached Simon to confirm that he is alright. What's happened? Where are the others? Simon falls silent, and even though his guard is now lowered, he still glances at Galvin in obvious dislike of his presence.
I am happy to see you are alive, Lena. We have to talk, but not here.
Yes. I also turn to look at Galvin, who is watching us with arms crossed.
You're taking him there?
The village, I nod.
I see.
Then Galvin turns around on the spot and leaves without another word. For a moment, I'm tempted to stop him, but I have no idea what good it would do, or what I should say. To be honest, my mind's a mess, and I hardly know up or down from the situation at all. Come with me, I know a safe place. I can tell by the look on Simon's face that he is surprised at the existence of the village as I. We walk slowly between the buildings while I look around with disbelief. While he looks around with disbelief.
Nothing was supposed to be up here. That was certain.
My mind, I begin to wonder how certain things like that could actually be. Did he expect these mountains to always stay empty and untouched because of how difficult they are to travel through? This way, we could talk here. We enter Erin's small inn. She's busy with work. There's always a smile as she sees me, but her expression freezes as she notices a stranger following me. She stares at him without a word. Erin, this is Simon. He is one of the people who was with me before we got separated. Simon steps forward and nods. He greets Erin.
Hello.
Ah, so you found them. Erin finally loosens up again and regains her usual smile. Take a seat. You must be tired. We must need to talk. Erin nods and turns around to return to her chores. She sends Simon another hesitant glance before leaves. There's so much I want to ask, so much I need to know. My thoughts are still confused after finally seeing Simon again. I'm not even sure what to say. And Galvin, what on earth is going on when I meet them? Alright, I'm gonna end it here. We'll continue this next time. Bye bye.